Greetings, love and gratitude, love and gratitude. I am Charlene Deadly, and you are watching Deadly Storms TV. And what we are going to do today is go back over the Dreamspell Genesis. I wanted to do this again and read the story and read it out loud because I have been called to just kind of like slow up and go back. So I want to do the dream spell. And I want to do the dream spell journey because it is a story of creation. I think it's a very well, I think it's a very descriptive story about creation, the Genesis, what happened to divine feminine, what happened to us as a people, and how we are caught into an unnatural time cycle matrix that was created by some diabolical people. Some people who got this information and tried to keep it for themselves so they can evolve and be always in higher consciousness, so to speak, and then have us in a matrix that they created that they benefit from more so than anything else. So they have us doing this while they over there doing that. I mean, we've heard a lot about that. Like now, people are debunking religions and all of that kind of stuff. So like, yeah. So I guess this is my take on it in a way. I did not come up with this concept. I'm just saying when I read the concept, it clicked for me. I've said that before. And so I kind of wanted to just have a video with this story. And then that's going to be like the beginning of my playlist. And under this playlist is going to be things of this nature. It's going to be explaining or the information that I find I'm going to put under the dream spell journey about why I think that this information is very valid, like the synchronicities with it, and my take on explanations of what it is that I read and what it is that I feel. So, with that being said, let me pause because I'm going to get me something to drink and stuff like that. And that's why I'm doing the video, so I can just upload this and keep this. So, I'll be right back. Okay. So, because I'm uploading and not doing a live, I can't really share my screen. It's an older laptop, and I don't know how to do all of that. So, I'm going to be using my phone. I'm going to read the story off my phone, but we're recording it in a video so we can upload. It's the same story. It's from, I know you really can't see it up right there. It's lovetime.org, and it's under Dreamspell Genesis. And the website is older. They really haven't updated the information and stuff like that, but that's fine. It still applies. So we're just not even going to say 2013, but like this information was written around back then with 2012 and where they thought that was the end of the blah, 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 blah. I can get into that. Anyway, I'm getting into this story. The dream spell Genesis is a psycho-mythic description of the migration from the lost worlds to the present world on planet Earth. It is the journey of time travelers who become space-traveling amnesiacs only to be awakened by the return to correct time. Dreamspell, the journey of time ship Earth. Dreamspell Genesis. Time ship Earth, born of the dragon, taught by the monkey, set in flight by the moon. Just as the falcon entering its gyre henceforth spins without turning back, so once a planetary kin has entered the magnetic dragon gate of the castle of turning, there is no turning back, only turning and turning again through the endless and infinite castle spires of the mighty time ship Earth. Time ship Earth, five majestic castles of fathomless splendor bound into one by the spiraling, gyre like path of this dreamspell Genesis. Not once, not twice, but thrice was the Genesis originated. More than that, actually. Um, when it says spiraling gyre like path, I see that as when I show you guys um, the swastika and the real meaning behind that, and not that Hitler shit. But if you take that and like put it in a spinning rotation, yeah, spiraling gyre like. But anyway, by the dragon born, the 20 solar tribes of the planetary kin appeared on time ship Earth. By the monkey taught, the planetary kin learned the magic of the 13 moons that guide the time ship Earth. Set in flight by the moon, the destiny of the planetary kin is the galactic launching of time ship Earth. Time ship Earth, five castles ever revolving together in the dream spell genesis of time. A red castle to the east, a white castle to the north, a blue castle to the west, a yellow castle to the south, and a green castle and a green enchanted castle in the center. Each castle is entered by four magnetic gates. For each castle, a red magnetic gate unlocks the eastern castle quarter. A white magnetic gate unlocks the northern castle quarter. A blue magnetic gate unlocks the western castle quarter, and a yellow magnetic gate unlocks the southern castle quarter. Each castle quarter is a wave spell of 13 steps. Each castle wave spell is formed by two gates, two towers, and nine chambers. Five castles of four wave spells each, 20 wave spells in all. Each of the 20 wave spell of the mighty time ship Earth accounts for 13 centuries by human reckoning. Four magnetic gates, four wave spells in all. Each castle accounts for 52 steps, or 52 dream spell centuries. Dreamspell, the return of the 20 solar tribes following the 13 moons through time ship Earth. Three Dreamspell Genesis, five castles, 20 wave spells, 260 steps, 260 Dreamspell centuries cast. So it was almost 260 centuries, which is 26,000 years ago, that time ship Earth entered its first Genesis. The dragon Genesis of the primal dream spell. Woven by the dragon into the earth, the human dream spell journey had begun. The red eastern castle of turning had been entered. The first of the mighty wave spells was cast. First came the 13th century dragon wave spell, followed by the 13th century wizard wave spell. Though much of the earth was covered in snow and ice, the dragon nurtured all, gave to everyone a place of kin within the dragon wavespell dome of birth. The dragon wavespell cast wizard appeared and enchanted all. I read that kind of wrong. With the dragon wavespell cast, wizard appeared and enchanted all. Within the red castle of turning, everyone grew in power and timelessness. From the wizard's enchantment came the knowing that opens the third magnetic gate, the hand wave spell. The hand wave spell casts the power of healing. A shadow blaze of burning blue upon the walls of the Dreamspell castle of turning. Then from the healing knowledge of the hand wave spell arrived the fourth magnetic gate of the castle of turning, the sun wave spell. The sun wave spell came to be known in all its might. At last was cast the wave spell of universal fire, that the hearts of all might know the source of heat and life. Despite the ice age mantle worn by planet Earth, with the sun wave spell, the eastern castle of turning was complete. 52 centuries of the primal dream spell had passed. Now the time had come to enter the northern castle of crossing. While the castle of turning glows with a warm liquid dawn red aura, the castle of crossing rises white, austere, majestic beyond belief. To complete its ice age journey, timeship Earth now had to travel to galactic north and there construct the castle of crossing. To prepare for the crossing, Skywalker came first to cast the fifth wave spell of Space Unbound, where all the kin are free to explore. Then arrived World Bridger, the Deathless One, casting the wave spell that crosses all from death to the enchanted realm. Having established the wave spell of space and the wave spell of death, next was cast the burning blue wave spell of storm, creating a universal storehouse of self-generation. With the first three magnetic gates of the Castle of Crossing were completed, then came the fourth gate. Human arrived, casting the wave spell of free will. So were complete the next 52 steps of Timeship Earth, 52 centuries in which were created the four great universal storehouses of space, death, self-generation, and free will. That's the white northern castle of crossing. Even unto this time, no warrior journey can occur without safe passage through the northern white castle of crossing. Now, two castles have been completed. 104 steps, 104 Dreamspell centuries, 10,400 Earth years had gone by. The Ice Age waning, her cargo of planetary kin growing in mutual love, knowledge, and power. The mighty timeship Earth was now ready to receive the western blue castle of burning. Equipped with the first two castle powers of birth and death, the castle power of magic was ready for timeship Earth. To prepare for the magic, first Serpent cast the wave spell of life force. For 13 steps, the life force climbed its way through the first quarter of the castle of burning. Then arrived Mira, casting the perfect wave spell of endlessness. And in the shimmering white gate of the cosmic dog, the 13th step of the mirror wave spell, The dragon Genesis fulfilled itself. There, in the middle of the castle of burning, the power of magic struck with a thunderous force. 130 steps, 130 Dreamspell centuries, 13,000 Earth years had passed. Shattered and gone was the primal Dreamspell dragon Genesis. Arising just as suddenly was the Matrix Dreamspell of magic. 6 wave spells, 78 steps, 78 Dreamspell centuries of the monkey Genesis. Gone was the Ice Age. Equipped with the power of 10 wave spells, the planetary kin opened the gates to the 11th wave spell of magic and inaugurated the monkey Genesis. Through the 13 steps of the monkey wave spell, the kin of time shift Earth learned the weaving of the 13 moons that created Dreamspell Garden. Then, through the fourth gate of the blue castle of burning, arrived the seed wave spell casting the power of flowering. The magic brilliance of the 13 moons wove its monkey Genesis spell across the human garden. Complete now were the 52 steps of the blue western castle of burning. The power of magic fulfilled itself in transforming the dragon Genesis into the monkey Genesis. 3 castles, 156 steps, 156 dream spell centuries completed. The journey of time ship Earth now turned towards the galactic south for the continuation of the fourth castle, the radiant yellow castle of giving. Just as the planetary kin received the powers of birth, death, and magic from passage through the first 3 castles, so the fourth will bestow on them the warrior power of intelligence. Now came the first magnetic gate of the castle of giving, the 13th wave spell, the earth wave spell casting the power of navigation. Mighty were the kin on entering this gate. Powerful were they in navigating the magic of the 13. Now came the dog wave spell opening the power of heart. Following the 13 steps of the dog wave spell, the kin became rich in love and loyalty, all in preparation for the wave spell of night. 13 steps through the blue burning night. 13 steps through the burning blue night wave spell allow the dream power of the kin to ripen in unparalleled abundance. Finally completing the yellow southern castle of giving, the magnetic gate of the warrior presented itself. Through casting the warrior wave spell of intelligence, the kin increased their fearlessness of magical giving. Full blown was the capacity of the planetary kin to share in their gifts. Equal to each other were they in their ability to give themselves to each other according to the needs of whatever adventure might arise. Service. 4 castles had been completed. 16 wave spells cast. 208 steps climbed. 208 dream spell centuries passed. Spiraling up through the dragon Genesis, spiraling again through the monkey Genesis, the planetary kin were prepared for the third and final Genesis of time ship Earth, the moon Genesis, the Genesis of magic flight. Only 52 steps, 52 centuries through the green central castle of enchantment. And the incredible voyage of time ship Earth would be complete. Having demonstrated the powers of the 13 moons in weaving together the dream spell garden of magic during the 6 wave spells of the monkey Genesis, the planetary kin of the mighty time ship Earth awaited transfer to the green central castle of enchantment. However, in the magic flight from the 208th step, cosmic star, to the 209th step, magnetic moon, initiating the moon genesis, a theft occurred. Impostors, male priests, and warriors usurped the power of the 13 moons. They hid the power of the 13 among themselves and attempted to banish all memory of the Matrix dream spell of magic. The moon genesis was to bestow the gift of the 13:260 ratio upon the planetary kin of timeship Earth. The 13:260 ratio unlocks the vast powers of magical flight held by the central castle of enchantment. Instead, the planetary kin had imposed upon them the diminishing power ratio of 1260. No longer the magic of the 13 moons, but a 12-month calendar of uncertain meaning. No longer the timeless jar of magical flight, but a 60-minute hour to earn one's bread. Time was compressed into a flat circle. The power of the 20 solar tribes of the planetary kin was reduced to the power of 5 instead of 20. Slowly, the king gave their power away to the priests, while the priests of the calendar cast the dream spell of history. Despite the male priest's corporate takeover of third dimensional Earth, the fourth dimensional time ship continued to be woven. However, the 52 steps of the central castle of enchantment came to be covered with an increasingly dense overlay, the dream spell of history. During the opening moon wave spell of Castle of Enchantment, the priest successfully diverted the power of universal water and established civilization through irrigation, writing, warfare, and the calendar of 12. Through the second wave spell of wind, the power of spirit was channeled through metallurgy, horse and chariot warfare, and the building of imperial cities. The domain of the warrior priests was extended. 26 centuries of the castle of enchantment 26 centuries of the castle of enchantment captured by the male priesthood. The power of timeship Earth persisted. During the third wave spell of the moon genesis, Eagle cast the wave spell of vision. Teachers, philosophers, and visionary sons of the ancient time called for a recollection of the original order of timeship Earth. But the minds and memory of the planetary kin had already become dim and were growing dimmer. Finally came the 20th wave spell, the wave spell of the star. Casting the power of elegance, the star wave spell beckoned the journey of the last 13 steps, the last 13 dream spell centuries of the 260 step fortress of timeship Earth, the completion of the moon genesis of magic flight. The power of the male priest continued to navigate its own course. The 1260 ratio spread around the planet in a mechanized victory. Yet the secret dreamers of the time ship continued without cease to weave the true vision of time according to the invisible demands of time ship Earth. Now blind and without coherent recollection, the human crew of the third dimensional planet Earth steers its ship of civilization into the self-created walls of its own doing. It is as if a man climbing a spiral staircase of 260 steps arrives at the last few and, having forgotten his purpose, stumbles at the very last step. Will the man fall and all the effort be for naught? Or will something happen in that fleeting instance of stumbling? Perhaps a deja vu, a fleeting recollection of the whole adventure. Such could be enough to bring the man back to himself and set him aright to complete successfully the 260th step. So it has happened that the dream spell of history completed itself. A 5 year deja vu is now occurring whereby all may awaken to the dream spell. All may have again the opportunity of receiving the last gift of magical flight, the 13-60 ratio, restoring magic of the planetary kin to what it was at the dawn of the moon Genesis. From the Dreamspell ending history of AD 1987 to the intended Dreamspell launching of Time Ship Earth in AD 2013, there are only 26 years. 5 years to unravel the Dreamspell of history, 8 years to recover the Dreamspell of magic, 13 years to test drive the mighty Time Ship Earth through the Green Central Castle of Enchantment. Then on to Timeship Earth launching point in 2013. Remember, I said some of this information is not updated, but it still applies. The galactic dream spell has hardly begun. The tale of Timeship Earth is poised at this moment to release the gift, the galactic tones of the 13 moons, the calendar wave spell that unlocks all wave spells. Now, Dream Spell, the journey of Timeship Earth, the gift. Time shift in 1992, the time of the gift. One wave spell maps the adventure that unlocks all wave spells, charting the dream spell journey of time shift Earth. From the time of Monkey Genesis in the middle of the blue western castle of Burning, the planetary kin lived by following and practicing the magic of the 13 moons. Descended from the 20 solar tribes, each planetary kin possessed 20 fingers and toes. In this way, the planetary kin of the monkey Genesis dream spell of magic lived according to the lunar solar ratio of 1320. The 1320 ratio is the base operating cycle of time ship Earth. 13 moons, 20 solar tribes living in harmony sustain time ship Earth in an orbit around the sun. Then came the time for the planetary kin to complete the monkey genesis and enter the moon genesis. According to the dream spell code of the castle, upon leaving the southern yellow castle of giving and entering the green castle of enchantment, the planetary kin were to receive the gift of the increased 13-60 time ship Earth operating ratio. In the profound space between Monkey Genesis ending and the Moon Genesis beginning of the Enchanted Castle, a trick was played. A theft occurred. Power was usurped. How and why? The current Dreamspell of Time Ship Earth is now approaching its 26,000 year finale. This dream spell is only the most recent dream spell cast in the planetary system of the sun. Numerous times before on different planets within the local star system had dream spells been cast. Not all of these dream spells ended well. One planet was destroyed, Maldek, the fifth planet out from the sun, is now known as the asteroid belt. Its history lost. The debris of its dream spell still holds Maldek's orbital position. Catastrophic disturbances also occurred on Mars, the fourth planet out. The power that once animated Maldek and Mars was now absorbed and appropriated by Jupiter, the sixth planet, and held in check by Saturn, the seventh planet. Jealous of their increased power, forces on Jupiter and Saturn conspired against the planetary kin receiving the gift of the 13-60 ratio. This gift would have given Earth equal power and would have established a direct connection between Earth and Uranus, the eighth planet. For just as Earth is the third planet out from the sun, so is Uranus the third planet in from the galaxy. Together, Earth and Uranus hold the orbital balance of the solar system. Both Earth and Uranus have two planetary orbits on either side of them. As long as Jupiter and Saturn held the power of Maldek and Mars, the channel between Earth and Uranus was closed. Instead of the 13:260 ratio already stored deep within the crystal core of timeship Earth, the planetary kin received the 1260 ratio, the dark dream spell of history. The promise of galactic time magic and cosmic selfhood was stolen from the planetary kin. The purpose of the 12 was to erase all memory of the monkey genesis when the planetary kin, men and women equal in their magic powers, lived by the 13 moons. So the 13th moon was dismembered and added as an extra day to the calendar of 12. This absorption of the 13 into the 12 was called an improvement by the male impostor priest, hypnotized by the combined powers of Jupiter and Saturn. It takes 12 years for Jupiter to orbit once around the sun. It takes 60 years for Jupiter and Saturn to be conjunct. 12 times 5 equals 60. 1/6 of the flat 360-degree circle. The difference between 12 and 5 is 7. While the priests of the calendar of ancient Babylon banished the power of the 13 moons, they replaced that power with the power of 7. While the 12 diminished the power of the 13 by 1, the 60 raised the power of 20 by 3. A seeming increase in power occurred, but an increase only on the flat plane of third dimensional time to which the planetary kin were now consigned. With the banishment of the 13 moons, the fourth dimensional time magic of the planetary kin became the property of the priest class. Setting up religions and governments to maintain the kin within the third dimension, the priests were assured that anyone having fourth dimensional experience either be appropriated by religion and government or else be destroyed. From the outset, once the 1260 ratio became the standard of the dream spell of history, the planetary kin were placed increasingly out of phase with timeship Earth, which still operated on the base of 1320 ratio. Only in Central America and Mexico, far from the priests of Babylon, did the calendar of the 13 flourish during the dream spell of history. Despite their own corruption, the priests called Maya kept both the calendar of the 13 and the memory of Venus, the cosmic starlight, initiating the moon genesis. Excuse me. In this way, the 1320 operating ratio of time shift Earth continued to be maintained far into the central enchanted castle of the moon genesis. Even so, 500 years ago, did the priests and warriors of the 1260 ratio venge and destroy as much as they could of the knowledge and memory of the Mayan 1320 ratio. This accomplished, the mission of timeship Earth went into hibernation. The 1260 ratio was now triumphant over all the planet. Third dimensional time could now be mechanized. While offering the magically dispossessed planetary kin increased material wealth, comfort, and power through application of the template time is money, the male priesthood now confounded all memory of the 13 with ignorance and superstition. Despite the sinister materialism of the male priesthood, the subtle power of the castle of enchantment continued to move forward. The dream spell of history paved its own short-sighted path over the last few steps of the 20th wave spell. All the while, saints, martyrs, poets, and visionaries of every kind beckoned to humanity with their glimpses of time ship and its glorious destiny. Operating in disregard of the natural 1320 ratio of time ship Earth, the symbolization of Dreamspell of history increasingly took on the quality of a time warp. Fourth dimensional time is radio, shooting out in every direction simultaneously from ever present now. The radio simultaneity of fourth dimensional time creates a holosphere of ever more complex orders of synchronicity. Operating exclusively by its own power, third dimensional time is flat. Like a phonograph record, the time warp of the third dimension is but a thin slice of the total holosphere of fourth dimensional time. Like a phonograph record, the time warp is limited in size and duration. No more than 5,200 years are available to be recorded in the grooves of the record, and then no more can be recorded. Naturally, the priests of third dimensional time are blind to the limits of the record upon which they are recording and being recorded. So it was that on August 16th, 1987, the recording of the 1260 ratio came to its end. The needle is now skipping wildly over the record as the priests try to continue recording. Strange sounds, dissonance, deja vu occurs with wild instants. The Great Awakening has already begun. The dream spell of history shattering, the time of the gift of the 13-260 ratio has returned once again. That time is the time shift, which they say happened in July 26th, 1992, is when it was reactivated. The time shift Earth will arise everywhere within the midst of shattered flatland record of the third dimension. The gift for leaving the 1260 ratio and entering the 13-260 ratio is the 13 moon calendar for casting the planetary service wave spell. Key to the Dreamspell Journey board. The 13 moon wave spell unlocks all castle wave spells and opens the 260 galactic gateways of time shift Earth. 13 moon 13 perfect moons of 28 days each. Each moon a perfect reflection of every other moon. In sequence, each of the 13 moons carry one of the 13 galactic tones. 13 perfect moons, one perfect wave spell. The 13 moon wave spell, a perfect reflection of the castle wave spell. The first moon is the magnetic gate. The next three moons are the first three chambers of the wave spell. The fifth moon is the overtone tower. The next three moons are the next three chambers. The ninth moon is the solar tower, followed by the last three chambers of the wave spell. The 13th moon is the cosmic gate. Magic flight occurs on the free green day between the last day of the 13th cosmic moon and the first day of the first magnetic moon. The free green day synchronizes with July 25th on the present solar calendar. The first day of the magnetic moon is July 26th. The purpose of the 13 moon calendar is to gather together the service of the planetary kin on behalf of Time Shift Earth. Like any wave spell, the planetary service wave spell of 13 moon calendar follows the same template of adventure and time magic as the castle of wave spells. All 20 wave spells of the 13-260 ratio are mapped on the Dreamspell Journey board, while the 13 moon wave spell serves to convert third to fourth dimensional time. The 20 wave spells of the Journey board map of all the radio overtones of fourth dimensional time. By surrendering the 1260 ratio and accepting the wave spell perfection of the 13 moon calendar, all planetary kin will discover their own galactic gateways. Following the time shift, after July 26, 1992, the planetary kin can take advantage of the stored power of the Castle of Enchantment. Through application of the overtone magic of the galactic time, within 20 years of the planetary kin can complete the journey of Time Shift Earth in 2013. That started in 2013. With nothing left to lose and nowhere else to go, it is time for all planetary kin to enter the adventure of timeship Earth. The Earth shall prevail. The garden shall be renewed. The magical power of the kin shall be restored. The time tunnel between Earth and Uranus shall be opened. The moon genesis of magic flight shall be fulfilled. The galactic dream spell shall be successfully entered at last. Dreamspell Oracle of Destiny, the Oracle of Galactic Time. The Dreamspell mission on timeship Earth. Cast and plot. Humans. Time travelers lost on exper- experimental third dimensional colony. Earth. Third dimensional anchor of lost timeship. Original mission. Land timeship on Earth and take action to keep Earth from being third planet in succession to blow out within local star system. Target of original mission galactic synchronization. Cause of planetary blowouts memory virus affecting third dimensional spacesuits. Result of virus genetic flaw in spacesuits causing amnesia of third to fourth dimensional connect and a sensory environmental hookup. Origin of virus double agent. Ooh, excuse me. My allergies been bothering me. Yeah. Sorry. I know that sound nasty. Excuse me. Origin of virus double agent time bandits on Jupiter and Saturn wanting to take over local star systems 1260 ratio beam towards Earth to keep time colonists in third dimension. Background. Mission protagonist Galactic Central Fifth Force, a higher dimensional organization. Function star surveillance and planet development for purpose of seeding Fifth Force. Power of galactic self creation. History of mission. Through many galactic spins, there had been surveillance of the system. Kinich Ahua, a single star system with 10 orbital wings. Because of its 10 orbital wings, Kenichi Ahahu was deemed perfect for anchoring the fifth force. Once the fifth force was anchored on the star, Kenichi Ahahua, and I'm going to spell this. It's Kinich, and then space, and then it's Ahau. I don't know. Its 10 orbits became charged and activated. Once a star's planetary orbits are charged and activated, colonization becomes necessary. A tedious and lengthy process, initially the colonization proceeded routinely. The major point of engagement was to establish a time tunnel between the planets holding the third and the eighth orbits. This meant that, first of all, the orbits on either side of the third and eighth planets had to be stabilized. Trouble broke out when the mission on the fifth orbit, held by the planet called Maldek, blew up so badly that the planet became an asteroid belt. A second mission on the fourth planet out, called Mars, also self destructed, leaving an uninhabitable red planet. The situation of Kenichi Ahuha was grave. The source of the trouble came from counter agents who had taken over the planets Jupiter and Saturn, holding the sixth and seventh orbits. These counter agents now held the two largest planets of the Kenichi Ahua system and formed an effective block between the third and eighth orbits, rendering the construction of the time tunnel impossible. Although Kanich Ahua is a solitary star system rotating around the Pleiadian cluster, when fully operative, it contributes to the sounding of a cosmic fifth, fourth. I'm gonna just say Kanich. Although Kanich is a solitary star system rotating around the Pleiadian cluster, when fully operative, it contributes to the sounding of a cosmic fifth force chord in this remote sector of the galaxy. Because of this, the timeship Earth mission was decided as a last ditch ploy to salvage Kanich. Following the Pleiadian timing of Kanich, the Dreamspell mission of time ship was implanted on Earth at negative 23,987 Dreamspell years. Utilizing the code of the four cosmic root races red, white, yellow, and blue the galactic time traveler entered their third dimensional spacesuits. For 26,000 Dreamspell years, the time colony would utilize the genetic programming of the third dimensional spacesuits and remain incarnate on planet Earth. During the Dragon Genesis, the time colony enriched itself on memory nodes, unlocking the cause and cure of the disruptions on Kanich. Then, despite the precautions of cultivating the magic and the wisdom of the 13 moons during the monkey genesis, the memory virus struck. At negative 3,187 Dreamspell years, the time bandits of the 6th and 7th orbits pulsed their beam. The 1260 frequency of the memory virus took immediate effect on the third dimensional spacesuits. The planetary colonists experienced the virus initially as a dimness of memory concerning their fourth dimensional hookup, and then as weakened sense perceptions. Counter agents on Earth disguised as priests told the colonists that in order to make up for their weakened senses, civilization should be developed. To account for their weakened fourth dimensional memory, described as lost soul, religion would be needed. They cold, man. The dream spell of history was cast. A wedge was driven between the ego of the third dimensional spacesuits and the fourth dimensional holons of galactic colonists. Result: the last 20% of the mission was aborted. Instead of creating a spectral continuum connecting the third and eighth planets, Earth and Uranus, the colonists entered the amnesia and recreated the Maldek Mars effect, also known as Atlantis. As the wedge between the third dimensional spacesuit and the fourth dimensional holon grew, the colonists experienced greater and greater dissynchronization. The colonists were now lost in time. As the dissynchronization increased, the planet attracted more and more lost time travelers from other parts of the galaxy. By the time of by the time of the age of transformation, which was AD from 1754 to 2013, the desynchronous attraction of lost galactic time travelers grew to epic proportions. The human population of Earth expanded enormously, growing from zero point 0.5 billion to zero point 0.5 billion in 1754 to 5.2 billion in 1990. Material civilization exploded in direct proportion to this exponential growth. The memory virus was now an epidemic. Not wanting to see cannot grow dim in the sounding of the cosmic chord, the galactic fifth force has developed, at the last possible moment, an inoculation for the memory virus. Dreamspell. The dream spell cures the memory virus while restoring your fourth dimensional memory circuits. Through use of the dream spell, You can dial up your galactic gateways, re enter the original mission state, and destructure the illusion of the memory virus. The time shift the time shift is the first step readying the time ship for completion of its mission. That was July 26th of 1992. By restoring the power of the 13 through implementation of the 13 moon calendar, the Saturn power of 7 will be checked. This buys time and gives you 8 years to clean up the mess. Through the pole shift AD 2000, you will regain the power of time travel and the time tunnels will be open. Between 2000 and 2013, you will be able to pinpoint the source of the memory virus on Saturn and Jupiter. By 2013, you will meet the galactic synchronization. Connect will be stabilized. Hold on. Now we on to the Castle Genesis Index Dreamspell Genesis. And there is a little diagram. It's basically the diagram. You see that? There it is. It's the diagram. It's the outer ring, inner ring. And this is what I'm going to read. This diagram, basically. But it's the dream spell genesis. Like what we've been talking about. In the center of Dreamspell Genesis are depicted the 13 moons and the star of the moon Genesis. Synchronizing the 13 moon of planet Earth according to the 13 galactic tones, the 4 root races and the 20 tribes seed the 20 wave spell of time shift. Coded by the power of the fifth force, the 20 wave spells move through time as the 5 castles of time shift. The time allowed for time shift regeneration of a planet is 26,000 dream spell years. Each wave spell is 13,000 years. Excuse me. Let me back up. The time allowed for time shift regeneration of a planet is 26,000 years. Y'all hear that? Dream spell years. Each wave spell is 1,300 years, 1,300 years. Each castle is 52 years. So, what we're doing on a daily basis and on a yearly basis, it's the same thing, but they're doing it in century terms. Because Earth was not made 6,000 years ago. Okay. Religion was though. Hold on. But anyway, um, let me read that again. The time allowed for time shift regeneration of a planet is 26,000 dream spell years. Each wave spell is 1,300 years. Each castle, because it's 5 castles, is 52 years. During this time, 3 genesis occur: dragon genesis, monkey, and moon. Each genesis marks the initiation of a stage of power of the Rainbow Nation. Dragon genesis was 13,000 dream spell years, power of dreaming. Monkey genesis was 78 dream spell years, power of magic. Moon genesis is 52 dream spell years, power of magical flight. In this way, the planetary kin of time ship would become the Rainbow Nation. The launching of the time ship at the end of the 26,000 year would mark the completion of the galactic fifth chord to be sounded by Kinnick. To restore and maintain the radial nature of solar planetary time, the Dreamspell Genesis and the 5 castles of the time ship are organized into 5 Genesis memory cells. Within each of the 5 memory cells, the 20 tribes are organized according to antipode pairs. Remember, antipode is challenging, strengthening power. These pairs follow the laws of radial time. In the outside of the ring, the Dreamspell Genesis are the tribes marking the 10 wave spells of Dragon Genesis. So it takes 10 wave spells to do Dragon Genesis. We're in wave spell 6 right now. The 13th day of it though, but we're in wave spell 6, so we're still in the Dragon Genesis. That's what they're saying. But then they're adding thousands of years to it because of course, even if you believe like in the Bible to the extent of creation where they're saying let there be light and let there be this and naming of the animals, and when it said it was separating waters and all this stuff, the Bible makes it seem like it was 7 days, but it technically could have been 70,000 years. You know what I'm saying? that happened realistically. And that's what this is. It's more realistically. So that's what they're saying. So in the outside ring of the Dreamspell Genesis, the tribes marking the 10 wave spells of the Dragon Genesis. In the inside ring are the 6 tribes marking the 6 wave spells of the Monkey Genesis, followed by the 4 tribes marking the 4 wave spells of the Moon Genesis, which is the Green Castle. By current time reckoning, the Dragon Genesis began at negative 23,987 Dreamspell years, while the Moon Genesis ends at 2013. So 2013 marked the end of the Moon Genesis and the castle. Like it was completed in 2013. And so then we started over again. So 2013, we're getting ready to so 2013 is 2024, right? 2026 is 13,000 more years. That's going to be the completion. If I'm reading this correctly, it's going to be the completion of the Dragon Genesis in a macro way. But anyway, by the current time reckoning, Dragon Genesis began at negative 23,987 dreams per years, while the Moon Genesis ended at 2013. The outer ring, Dragon Genesis. Genesis memory cell. So now it's breaking it down. So the Dragon Genesis. Genesis memory cell 1 is to transmit the Genesis, which is the red eastern castle of turning, court of birth, power of entering. You got wave spell 1, which is the red dragon tribe initiates turning through the power of birth. Truth of galactic Neptune remembered. So that was a negative 23,987 years. Wave spell 2, the white wizard tribe refines turning through power of timelessness. The truth of solar Maldek remembered. So then Genesis memory cell 2 is the next 2 wave spell, but it's the alpha transduced Genesis. You have wave spell 3. Blue hand tribe transforms turning through power of accomplishment. Truth of galactic earth remembered. Wave spell 4, yellow sun tribe ripens turning through the power of universal fire. Truth of galactic Pluto remembered. Through turning, planetary kin attain the power of entering. Red eastern castle of turning has been complete because we just did 4 wave spells. So now, white northern castle of crossing, court of death, power of descending. Genesis memory cell 3, equalize the Genesis, which consists of wave spell 5 and 6. 5 is red Skywalker tribe initiates crossing through power of space. Truth of solar Mars remembered. Wave spell 6, which we're on right now. White World Bridger tribe refines crossing through power of death, truth of galactic Mars remembered. Genesis memory cell 4, Omega transduce the Genesis, which is wave spell 7 and 8. Wave spell 7 is blue storm tribe transforms crossing through power of self generation. Truth of solar Pluto remembered. Wave spell 8, yellow human tribe ripens crossing through power of free will. Truth of solar Earth remembered. Through crossing planetary kin attain power of descending. White northern castle of crossing is complete. Blue western castle of burning. Court of magic. Power of turning around. Genesis memory cell 5. Receive the Genesis. Wave spell 9. Red serpent tribe initiates burning through power of life force. Truth of galactic Maldek remembered. Wave spell 10. White mirror tribe refines burning power, burning through the power of endlessness. Truth of solar Neptune remembered. Wave spell 10. Now the dragon Genesis is complete. Within the blue western castle of burning, turning around occurs. Dragon monkey magic flight establishes monkey Genesis. Now we're in the inner ring of monkey Genesis. Genesis memory cell 1. Because you're starting over now because you did a full completion turn because the dragon Genesis is over with and you're on to the monkey. So we're back to transmit the Genesis. Wave spell 11. Blue monkey tribe transforms burning through power of magic. Truth of solar Venus remembered. Wave spell 12. Yellow seed tribe ripens burning through power of flowering. Truth of galactic Jupiter remembered. Through burning planetary kin, attain the power of turning around. Blue western castle of burning complete. Yellow southern castle of giving. Court of intelligence. Power of ascending. Genesis memory cell 2. Alpha transduce the Genesis. Wave spell 13. Red earth tribe initiates giving through power of navigation. Truth of solar Uranus remembered. Wave spell 14. White dog tribe refines giving through power of heart. Truth of solar Mercury remembered. Genesis memory cell 3. Equalize the Genesis. Wave spell 15. Blue Knight tribe transforms giving through power of abundance. Truth of galactic Saturn remembered. Wave spell 15. I wonder if that was supposed to say 16. Yellow warrior tribe ripens giving through power of intelligence. Truth of solar Saturn remembered. Through giving, planetary kin attain power of ascending. Yellow southern castle of giving complete. Monkey Genesis complete. Monkey moon magic flight establishes moon Genesis. Moon Genesis complete inner ring. Green central castle of enchantment. Court of synchronization. Power of magical flight. Point of time wars imposition of the 1263rd dimensional time ratio. Commencement of overlay of Dreamspell history. Genesis memory cell 4. Omega transduce the Genesis. Wave spell 17 is red moon tribe initiates enchantment through power of universal water. Truth of galactic Mercury remembered. Wave spell 18. White wind tribe refines enchantment through power of spirit. Truth of galactic Uranus remembered. Genesis of memory cell 5. Receive the Genesis. Wave spell 19. Blue eagle tribe transforms enchantment through power of vision. Truth of solar Jupiter remembered. And wave spell 20. Yellow star tribe ripens enchantment through power of elegance, truth of galactic Venus remembered. Through enchantment, planetary kin attain the power of magical flight, rainbow nation fulfilled, central castle complete, moon genesis complete. Galactic synchronization, sounding of the galactic fifth chord of Connect. I find all this interesting, and it's the synchronicity for me is like the 26,000 years and things of that nature. I follow space weather, I follow the solar, and that's one thing that they didn't want us to do because they're doing it and they wanted to control the narrative, the power, the energy, and everything. So it's the whole thing of have us focus over here while they still over here, and they've been so far advanced with the stuff that they're way ahead of us still. So even though like we're catching up, like we have to be careful with the information that we're getting because what we're finding out they already know, been used it, been there, done that. And so they've mastered it more than we have. So at the same time, but 26,000 years, the 13,000 years, then the 6,000 years, how it breaks down. And even though the numbers is off, because it does say, like back here, it says 5,000, 7,000, and something like that, or whatever. Yeah, the one right here, 13,000 Dreamspell years was Dragon's Genesis. Monkey Genesis is 78,000. And then Moon Genesis is 52. Even though those numbers don't directly say 6,000 and things of that nature, and 13,000 and 26,000, those were the basically the transformation of Earth for real, and we can prove that. The Ice Age happened 26,000 years ago, and they say that Earth goes through this really big transformation every 26,000 years. But in between the solar cycles and stuff, the solar planetary cycles that we go through, because I know everybody's hearing about the poles magnetically moving and shifting and they're going to flip and stuff like that. That's a 26,000 year cycle. And we are coming up on that again. But in between the 26,000 year cycle, we've had other planetary adjustments that affected us. Ice ages and mini ice ages and stuff. We've had one at 26,000, we've had one at 13,000, and we've had one like in between 5 and 7,000. But they say it's a 6,000. A 6,000 solar year cycle, solar planetary cycle where big changes happen within the earth, and we're basically talking about like the extinction, like when the titans was running shit and then they got diminished, then the other titans that came, which is basically like Godzilla and some shit. No bullshit, but you know what I'm saying, that area, those are cycles, and then they got wiped out, extinction, because a comet came and hit, you know what I'm saying, and fucked up dinosaurs, and you know what I'm saying, and all that kind of good shit, or however that story goes. But just the different extinction cycles that um, Earth has went through, that we digging down in the core of the mantle and studying the dirt, and like, yeah, we really did have an ice age, and yeah, this really did happen, and yeah, this really did happen. I find that interesting that that lines up with that in this story. So that was one of the reasons why I read this, because I want to show you what I'm latching on to and what's making sense to me, to be like, this information is very valid. There is synchronizations, there is common sense with it. And then if you are studying other aspects like the space weather, if you're keeping up with the sun cycles, the solar cycles, um, CMEs, and all of that, this information helps explain that. Why you're into that, why you're interested into that, why you're interested in astrology, why you're interested in what Pisces and the moon and all of that is doing, because it's very, very valid. And it's very interesting that that was one of the first things in religion, when religion was instituted, that was harped on us, like, tarot, your own divination, studying the stars, studying the moon and things of that is taboo. It's devil. It's like none of that. You're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be worshiping those things and seeking those things because why? Because that's you connecting to the divine on your own. And that's what I'm saying. This whole Jesus Christ and religion and everything like that is middleman energy, and we are out of middleman energy. We have to be out of middleman energy because other than that, you're still going to be caught up in this dream spell of history. And history is our downfall for sure. Because we got that history repeats itself. People always say, well, history repeats itself. You know why it repeats itself? Is because we're teaching it. And because we're teaching, because they're teaching us this history, and then we're teaching it, and it's like unconsciously now we do it that we can't break this spell and stuff. So for me, that's what makes sense for me. That's what clicks for me and gets me to understand stuff. And this is why I do that because I just, as I get the information, then I get little beep, 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 little downloads and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, woo, 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 it's too much of a coincidence about this and this and that and this. And yeah. And so here I am on here sharing it. So I'm going to end this video. This is what I wanted to share was the dream spell journey to get you to start thinking about that. Love and gratitude. Ashe.